It's fine. We're playing together.
So all I was going to say was you could try 100%ing Mighty Gunvolt at home.
That's true.
And that would get you a bit of practice.
No, I have to fall down and scale the walls slightly. Ah, shit. What's that red glow on it?
I think that's just in corruption. Because remember, this forest is like in a state of decay.
That's true. I'm actually going to run back and save just so we don't see that cutscene again.
Oh yeah, sure. That's logical. It'll save us a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Do you remember that there's a one life mode in this game?
Oh yeah, and if you die, you just lose.
I've never done that. Because remember what I said before about achievements? Because there is an achievement for doing that, but if it's long or short, it doesn't matter whether as long as it's fun.
I agree, but like it doesn't really bother me doing, like I said, the 100 hours because I can just like let my game sit as well.
Yeah, I'm not generally a fan of those kind of achievements. But what I was saying was, if it's short and a bit annoying, I'm still okay with it because it's like, I may as well get it, you know. And sometimes it'll lead to something else. But if it's long and annoying, I'm not going to do it. Like, I can't be bothered.
See, like, no, I was a bit surprised when I realized, because, like, I was saying it to you. So if anyone doesn't know, there's, like, if you play it, there's not spoilers, you get a trophy in the game if you finish the final boss with all your characters either level 40 or under.
Oh, and just to give them context, because they're used to a certain level cap. What is the level cap of
50.
that? 50. So just to clarify,
I think it's 120 in the second one from what I saw online because I haven't started that one yet.
But they might have assumed it went to 99. You see?
Yeah. So no, the cap is 50. So I'm pretty sure it was a PlayStation 2 game. Was it in Japan? I'm not sure.
No. So that's to clarify. Oh.
That was my phone.
Just while you're doing this. So basically, to explain that, Nihon Falcom, who are the company that make those games, they, for a long time, were like one of the last major holdouts for PC market in Japan. As in making their games specifically for PC. That's why, for instance, Trails in the Sky, they were all on PC, not necessarily on consoles. And there was a certain point, I think about 2005 or so, where they realized that the PC market wasn't big enough in Japan to keep going anymore. Now, ironically, only a few years later, they would go on to Steam worldwide and see great success there.
Yeah, like no, I think it's because the story, like, literally the storytelling of those games is amazing. Oh my god.
So, basically, with regards to Crossbow,
story was amazing.
But I think it was the first one in the Legend of Heroes not to be made specifically for PC. Now, it wasn't PS2, as you said. I think it was PSP. I think. You know what? I can double check it on my iPad. If you want.
Yeah, sorry. Wait till I either somehow die or make this. Yeah. Okay.
Just give me one quick sec.
I'm not sure, but I do know. Just so people know, the first time I played it, I didn't, because you can make when you get points depending how many trophies you get. And you keep adding on, and you can spend that then on your to unlock so that you can carry over to New Game Plus. But you don't have to carry them over; you can select them each time. So my plan was to try to do the first game in normal and be under level 40, or equal to level 40, and then do my nightmare run with my levels I have. So that means I only have to go up maybe whatever levels are left. And I think I told you this, the final boss actually gives you experience points.
Yes.
The final boss got all my characters to level 41.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah. They were like level 37 or 38 or something. And he brought them up all those levels. I nearly died. And I was like, do you know what? There's 3 characters endings anyway. I probably have to do, you only get 1 per playthrough. I have to do this game 3 times. So I just went straight to Nightmare for my next one because I obviously carried over like my levels, and I did Nightmare. I did the extra dungeon in the Geofront, which is just an area, and did that extra. Oh my god! Of course that happened to me. I did that extra boss and everything. I got further there.
You did. You were doing well. Just to confirm, it is a PSP game originally.
PSP. Okay, I was thinking that because of the graphics on it. I wasn't sure. I was.
Well, there's similar-ish graphics to the Windows, Trails in the Sky one, right?
They are, but I
Might
don't
even be the same engine.
know why I assumed PlayStation 2, I guess. I don't know. But so I did my nightmare run, and then I did it. So then I did my third run, and I did and luckily for me, out of my characters, there is 2 characters. If you ever do decide to play it, there is 2 characters you get in the final dungeon. When you get them, their level are 38. I'm not going to say who they are. Advice: kill them and leave them dead.
Wow.
Because if they will easily go over level 40, because they are going to be automatically level 38.
Oh, when you say kill them, you mean like in battle?
In battle, make sure you do not win the battle at all. So save just before you go in and make sure you kill them. The easiest way is to kill one and then keep running. Don't complete the battle, like leave it. Go back in and kill the other, because you can have them on support. So, because you have 2 at support and 4 in the thing. So that took about an hour.
I thought you meant kill them in the story.
Oh no, kill them in the battle and keep them dead, which also means you have to make sure you have enough potions to heal your character's HP and any magic that you use in. And don't do any battles that you don't have to in the final dungeon. Don't open monster chests at all, and also only do the battles you have to. So, because put it this way, I went back on my third gameplay, and
can I just point something out?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't going to take the controls from you.
I thought you were for a second.
When you know how you're sliding down that wall over there on the this wall here, you're jumping, like you're using your double jump, like
I don't know.
Like just as you're falling, so that you hit into the top, and so you're not going to like get it all the way across. You see?
True. Okay. But so I was level 30 on easy going into the dungeon, and and then killing off those 2 extra characters. Sorry. By killing off those 2 extra characters and being like level 30, the 4 main party members then ended up being 3 of them ended up being exactly level 40 after the final boss, and 1 of them ended up being level 39. So that means just with the battles you had to do, they jumped like 9 or 10 levels.
Wow.
So that's how annoying that trophy was. And that was on easy. I would say that, so maybe you'd have better luck on normal. But I do know when I did my first playthrough, when I went into the final dungeon, I think I was level 36 and they went up to level 41. You must get more experience obviously on easy. So that is my example. I only did it on easy because I just wanted to like blaze through it.
Yeah. I do that as
What
well.
also helped though was the fact, even though I didn't carry over my levels, I carried over my weapons, and I carried all the better quartz I had and all my gems to just unlock their slots again for the last time.
You see, you actually did it correctly there, except you hit the spike on the top. But in terms of going across,
I'm not going to lie, I wasn't even looking.
Oh no!
Because I was actually looking at you, kind of, and just automatically doing it.
You know, it's important. I mean, it's good then that we actually recorded, so I could show you.
I don't know how I did that without even really looking.
I probably should get closer. Now, here's a question.
Oh, that was my fault.
Do you even need to land on the middle one?
What do you mean?
Like, if you would slid down the one on the right, hopped over, and then use your double jump underneath the one in the middle, would you make it?
Like that middle thing I just hit there?
Yeah.
I think I have to hit that.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do it for you, but I just want to see, is it possible?
Okay.
Can I just check?
Yeah, go ahead.
But I won't actually do it for you.
It is possible. But not for me.
Well, sorry, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just wanted to see, was that even possible?
Okay, it looks like it is, everybody, but I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, if you think it's safer, just to go with that one.
Don't ask how I did that. But yeah, so I am now doing a playthrough, my 4th playthrough of it, just to get the trophy for 100 hours. Which also makes sense because now my DP points were practically terrible, and you get to carry over stuff if you have better DP points into your next.
So you wanted to build that back up.
So I wanted to build that back up anyway for my save slot, so it didn't matter. And I'm just doing a normal run again for my 4th playthrough because Yeah.
You know, you did well there.
I know I did.
And then,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say in terms of the easy, so like, you know how you said you went back and did the achievement on easy.
Yeah. Because for some reason I thought I'd get less experience, and then I realized when I started, no, that makes no sense. I get more experience.
Yeah.
So it made it actually more difficult, but I did it. But it made doing everything really easy, I guess, for me. I don't know. I just was also thinking I didn't have to do much anything, as in I didn't do any fights the entire game besides the ones I had to do. Which I was able to do due to the fact, like I said, I had the better weapons and quartz still, because I carried those over obviously from my previous game, just not the levels.
I was gonna say that I recently played the remake of House of the Dead, which do you know House of the Dead?
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything really about
Oh, I loved it in the arcade. And they did a remake recently, and it's pretty good. It's short, which is the biggest issue, because a lot of arcade games are short. But I played through it recently, I had a great time. But I also decided to go through and get all of the achievements. And there was like a bunch of times where I was like, you know what, let's just go on easy, just so that I can do like one or two little things, you know? You know that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. And then sometimes actually easy you kind of mess yourself over because it's a bit too easy, so they let you get more stuff, as in, like, I don't know. Oh, yeah. So what you were saying, Gwen, you did easy and?
It was just a case that, like, there's no shame in it as far as I'm concerned.
I think it depends what you're doing it for. I kind of get it if you just want to enjoy the story, or you just, like I did, you want to just blaze through, get that achievement, and call it a day.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I've already beaten the game on its hardest difficulty.
Yeah, same.
I don't need to, like...
Like, I was said to you, for that game, I beat the game on Nightmare difficulty on my second playthrough, did the extra dungeon and that extra boss, didn't even think it was that hard. No, I did have a lot of healing items, I would say.
Oh, you have to tell me, like, what you looked up afterwards, actually. That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I knew there was an ultimate boss in it, like after that, and I looked it up, and I was like, after I did that extra dungeon, I was like, oh, where can I find that ultimate boss thing? And I looked it up, and that was it. I don't know, because of other games like Final Fantasy X with the Aeons and all that stuff, I just expected it to be
Much harder.
And even when I think about it, Trials of Arise, even though I did the ultimate thing, which was, remember I told you pretty much all those boss fights one after another.
Trails of Arise.
Tales of Arise. Sorry, I did the extra boss thing, which is like kind of like all the bosses through the game at once in that like lab thing. And I remember the first time I did it, I did die because I just wasn't expecting it to be like one after another. But then I was like, just went off, got a couple of items that I needed, like healing items, just to make sure there's no shame in always go prepared to bosses. And went back in and I did it. And
I wanna confess something here, just on the topic of like that kind of stuff. There's a boss that I've never beaten legitimately in Final Fantasy X. And when I say legitimately, it's still a game mechanic, so not like cheating. But do you know Penance?
Yes.
So,
he was in the monster dungeon, isn't he?
No, that was Nemesis, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Nemesis. Where's Penance again?
Penance is what appears once you've defeated all of the Dark Aeons.
Oh, yes.
And, like, I've beaten, in the past, those Dark Aeons, like, legitimately. Like, you know, using regular attacks and spells and buffs and all that kind of stuff. For Penance, I've never been able to defeat him legitimately. So whenever I fight him, I just use Yojimbo.
You told me this before. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
I don't think it's cheating, because if you can do it in the game, it's not cheating.
Yeah.
That's the way I think about it.
Well, that's the thing. It's not cheating, but I also don't think it's legit.
It's called a loophole.
That is probably... No, it's not even probably. Like, that is the most overpowered move in any video game.
Yeah, Yojimbo is overpowered. That's what's funny about it.
Yeah, but also, I guess their logic was that you can't just pick Zanmato out of a list, you know? So
yes.
I guess they were like, oh, we should reward them with this ultimate power attack that is, you know, can be hard enough to trigger sometimes. But it's like, if you spend enough money, he will almost always do it.
Yeah, and you just made sure you had a ton of money.
Yeah. And
it's like, what are you going to do at the end of the game with that money? Nothing.
well, that's the thing with Penance. I just put all of my money in. I don't care like about anything else after that. It's just like
Yeah, like what are you going to do with all your money after that? Like, you're done.
yeah. Is not going to be going on vacation.
No, like
you've spent all of your money on your Jumbo. We're bankrupt.
Yeah, like we already know she goes to like the island. Well, she already knows that she goes back to the island and she runs away with.
Yeah, don't say too much.
I-
In fact, actually, maybe I should even censor that.
Many people don't find Fantasy 10, I guess, but that's true though.
Because technically, when you're playing Fantasy 10, you're not meant to know that.
Yeah, because she leaves and she comes a lesbian.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing you could do. You could just go complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Did you know that she becomes?
And then they're actually a throuple with Pain.
Yeah.
There's a lesbian throuple.
And they use mech suits and they go around destroying Spira.
Yeah.
They become the villains.
Yeah, totally.
It's actually like a tragedy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, everyone's just so confused why you like this because it was like you guys basically trained me to sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
All my life. So now I want to go crazy with my 2 lesbian girlfriends.
Yeah, and we're just gonna absolutely destroy everywhere.
And was just down for anything.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, like you like Bellevue or Besaid or any of those towns, Killica, we're the new Sin now.
Yeah. Got rid of Sin just to become Sin. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm sorry.
I don't know how much of this I can keep. I'll have to look at it in editing and see like.
Became Sin.
This is just me like going completely bonkers.
That's the fun thing.
Because apparently there was like I can't remember which YouTube video it was, but like
that's the fun when you don't want to spoil things, just say like a complete ridiculous lie.
like there was it was something to do with Naruto because someone was the Naruto manga had just ended, and someone was like
Yeah, Naruto and married Sasuke.
literally like it was like they built a gigantic statue of Naruto and Sasuke kissing.
Yeah, they Naruto and Sasuke got married. They were a gay couple. Naruto was always a yaoi. Like,
Yeah.
don't be butthurt.
And it was just funny because
And not in soccer, we're just there like, what the F?
and then like some people were like this person responded of saying
I'm sorry, that should have been the ending. Naruto just literally chased Sasuke all over the place. To him not be gay for him?
but the point like someone was like
Oh my god.
someone was like, oh, I thought this was actual spoilers, but I read it and it's actually not.
Oh my god. How did I get across there?
You have to double jump properly, so you need to
That
go.
was such a good run.
It was a really good run. I will say that.
I'm getting better.
I would hope so.
Not sugar.
So yeah, and then like, actually, are there any other platformer games?
Spider was a platformer, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean like a more 2D one, but like that you are actually interested in because you're generally not interested in platformers, but
Not really.
there might be some. Like I have it on the list, so you can't do it. But like you said, you wanted to play Shantae at some point.
Oh, Shantae, yes. Because Shantae looks adorable.
Like what other like? Just looking this up. Easy platformers. That's what I'm looking up. Well, this is the F. Google, you are having a laugh.
Wait, what did Google do now?
Look, I typed in platformers easy, and then you have platform video games from sources across the web. Easy.
Super Meat Boy's not easy. Because I literally, the other day, actually looked up most hard video games, and Super Meat Boy was like number 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's in loads of them. It's like, what the F are you saying here?
Oh, shit. Like, yeah, so I guess some people find some games easier than others. I don't know. It's kind of like movies. Games are subjective to the person who's playing them.
Correct, yeah.
Like I can guarantee there's people out there that are like, I'm struggling in this, and they'll probably see me. They'll eventually come across this video, let's say, and go, "This girl is so shit. What is she doing?" And it's like, yeah, I am. I'm terrible at platformers. I am aware of this. They aren't my favorite genre of game.
But you are willing to try them.
I am willing to give it a bash because I always wanted to play this game, especially.
Ori's great. I love Ori.
Don't know what I did last time to do that without being hit at the bottom.
I'm just looking to see here. I mean, Sonic, yeah. I mean, I guess that counts. Rayman.
Rayman. My sister used to love Rayman for PS2 or PS1.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Sorry, PS1. My mistake. Because believe it or not, my sister does not play video games now. She hasn't played video games since PS1, and the only ones she ever played were Rayman, Tony Hawk, and she had the Rugrats game.
Oh, wait, there was a few Rugrats.
I can't remember which one it was. It was on.
Was it the first one?
Could have been the first
Where
one.
they're like running around the house.
I do know you go to places as well. I can't remember which one it was. It was on PlayStation 1 anyway. If you showed me a list, I can definitely point it out. Oh, okay, I just died. I know golfing was involved in it. I'm pretty sure there was like a golfing mini game in there. Oh god. And
Oh yes, that was the first one, right?
I think it was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, you go around the house, and then there's like a section where you do golfing. I remember that.
Yeah.
There's a few where you go to the sewers.
But it's like imaginary golfing, so you like imagine stuff. And I know there's this thing that looked like a massive room that was just ice cream, so it was like someone's like fucking childhood dream, I'm guessing.
Okay, this is not, the greatest of lists because it's talking here about 10 best platforming games for kids.
SpongeBob.
That is actually a fun game. I played through that.
But yeah, sorry. So my sister only played those, and I took a bash at them, and I was not good at them at all.
Those Rugrats games?
Oh yeah, I just was terrible at video, like even worse than I am at this.
Although, actually, you said PS1.
This PS1.
So that was before you actually properly got into gaming.
Yeah, I didn't get into gaming until PS2, and I was the one who bought a PS2. My sister owned her PlayStation 1, and I actually never really played anything on it. Not really. But my sister did. And then my sister kind of got out of gaming. She did buy a Tony Hawk game for my PlayStation 2, which she played the odd time, but not really because when I got my PlayStation 2 when I was 12, I was heavy deep into going into like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts territory that she didn't have much times to play it because it would be that I was nearly always playing it. But the argument from my parents was I actually did buy it myself.
Yeah, that is legitimate.
Like my parents didn't buy it for me. I bought it with my confirmation money myself because people like in Ireland when you do your confirmation and stuff, your family tend to give you money. I don't know if people get as much as nowadays, but I have a very big family. I have like, my dad has like 7 siblings, and so does my mom. And when they all give you like €50.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this before.
Yeah, it really adds up.
It does, yeah.
So I was able to get like a PS2 and 2 games, which is The Sims Herbs and Final Fantasy 10-2. Not even 10, 10-2. Because my friend played 10-2 at her house, and I liked their clothing. But remember, I was a 12-year-old girl who was just getting out of playing with dolls, even though I still liked my dolls, just no one else played with them.
Yeah.
And was very much all about that fashion life. So, and I liked the fact that the main ones were all female. That was, I guess, kind of empowering to see when you're 12.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially back when I was younger, I guess that wasn't a big thing. I guess there was Lara Croft and stuff, but there wasn't many. When you think about it, a lot of the main characters in games were men.
That is true. I was actually just thinking about Final Fantasy, and I was trying to think to myself which ones, like, what was the first one to have a female as the lead?
It was
And
6, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was 6, Terra.
Terra, yeah. And then, even though, yes, is the main one in 10, Tidus was really the main character, it just revolved all around, I guess.
Yeah.
But then 10-2 was, and then the next time it did happen would have been Final Fantasy 13 with Lightning, 13-2 with her sister Sarah, and then 13-3 back to Lightning. I'm doing terrible.
I was also just wondering how much of this we can keep in. Not just because of what's happening on screen, but also because, like, you even mentioning that in the second game is a bit of, like...
True. But, like...
Simply because, the first game's kind of her... Oh, actually, wait.
Everyone kind of knows this by now.
But you don't... Actually, wait. I just realized. You don't learn about that until much later in the game.
You don't learn until about near the end, yeah.
Okay, so you can... it's still a bit of a spoiler, but it's not as big of a
I
spoiler
say
as I
a
thought.
lot of people know about 10-2, though.
But I wouldn't ever underestimate it. Like, here's the thing. I know there's loads of people out there... I've spoken about this before, but I'll speak about it again. There's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, if something's like 10 or 20 years old, you know, fair game on like talking about spoilers and stuff. And I'm like, no, because of one particular experience I had, which was that German exchange student, remember?
Yeah, where she... Oh, yeah, Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, and I accidentally spoiled the end of Wuthering Heights for her. And the thing with Wuthering...
I would have assumed a lot of people about Wuthering Heights too, though, I guess.
Like, Wuthering Heights is way older than like any of the things we're talking about.
Yeah, it's just kind of surprising when you hear people haven't either seen a movie adaptation, a TV adaptation of Wuthering Heights.
Oh, actually, these are really lovely platforms. I would strongly recommend these, just because they're really, really warm and comforting. You ever hear Trine?
Okay, I'm really nervous, Owen, here. I'm back to the top.
Okay, so what you need to do, I'll explain what you need to do here. You need to jump across, and then as you're beginning to fall, if you just held for slightly longer.
I know, I was so close. Okay. I know I can get up there. I've done it.
Okay, what I'm also going to say, when you get to the top, save.
Can I save up there?
I would strongly recommend
I couldn't say. I was jumping against the wall.
No. I meant once you've made that last jump.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
I would recommend saving then, you know? That fair?
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying. So there's these really lovely games called Trine. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
They actually just recently announced the 5th one. And they are like so warm. Like I played through the 4th one recently, and it's just such a comforting game series. So basically, you have 3 characters. A soldier, a thief woman, and a wizard. They're all, well, actually, she's the best of them all. Like, the other 2 are kind of incompetent at their...
Of course they are.
But...
Kind of like Pippin. Sorry. I only recently watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, don't say too much, but you
I'm
are...
not going to.
I can't wait for you to see Return of the King, though.
Yeah, my boyfriend showed me the
first 2.
with the extended edition.
It's extended editions, yeah, that's the way to
so 8 hours, and he was very baffled. I
haven't seen them.
Oh well, I do think I saw the 3rd one years ago as a teenager, but I was very drunk. But I've never seen the 2nd or 3rd one, and I discovered I barely remembered the first one.
So yeah, like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But just back to Trine. So basically, they end up in this situation where they're all to do with the like this Trine artifact, and the Trine artifact essentially makes them all fuse together.
Yes, go on.
Not in a like.
So like the crystal gems from Steven Universe.
Maybe I haven't actually seen any Steven Universe.
Oh, you have Steven.
I do, but I got bummed out about it. I'll tell you about.
Oh, because they didn't do other Blu-rays, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've only released the first season, and like the second season and stuff isn't coming. Now, it's still worth that I got the first season, and I'll probably watch it at some point. But when I don't know, like when I'll be able to see the other series.
Don't ask me how I did that. Okay, go on.
That's kind of bums me out, you know. But anyway, they get fused together, and you can switch between them. They all have their different abilities, and you can use them to navigate these levels. And it's a very puzzle-based, but there's some platforming involved. And it's just so lovely and warm.
Okay.
I would recommend. Like, they're...
I don't know how many of these... I guess some of these conversations could be like bloopers or extra shorts or something if you ever run out of
Possibly.
time. You could be like bloopers or shorts from... If you need space, extra conversation. I don't know.
But what I could do as well, which this would really be like...
You could take our voices off this and put it somewhere else.
Not just that, but I could do like me in despair, you angry, and then like the title. I usually don't add stuff to the title, but this one could be like the long one, and it's like a 40 to 50-minute episode or something.
It could be, because we did have some interesting conversations. I don't know.
So I'll just have to see when I'm editing.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, but Lord of the Rings is good. I don't know, like. I don't know, because platformers were never my thing, I guess. Like I said, what really got me into gaming when I was 12, like I said, was Final Fantasy 10-2 specifically. And I don't know, I remember just being like, oh my god, what is this?
Getting into RPGs then.
Yeah.
Well, specifically JRPGs.
Yeah, it was just beautiful to me. Like, I was already watching anime, but I didn't know it was anime when I was 12, if that makes sense. It was like the stuff that was on TV here, like Shaman King and Mega Man and Megabots, which were animes.
Pokemon.
And Pokemon. And Sailor Moon. I watched Sailor Moon as a
Digimon.
Yeah, and I watched
Also-
Sailor Moon as a kid, and I was still watching them, and none of my friends were really watching them. I was the only one, and you remember back in Ireland, especially back in like the early 2000s and 90s, young kids weren't scrolling the internet as much as they are now.
Oh, nowhere near.
Like, I could guarantee when I went on the computer, it was dial-up.
Yes, I was about to bring that up. That is
Dial-up. I remember the conversations where you're like, get off the computer. Someone needs to use the phone.
yeah, and also
Conversations.
like it was expensive to actually use the internet.
Yeah, and it was so if I was using the internet, there was no such thing as if you were under 13, you were not on any social media platform. It was uncalled for. Your parents would be livid at you
I remember that,
for being on one. They'd be like, and they barely let you on them at 13. They were very wary of the fact their young children were going on social media platforms.
But my parents, they didn't want me to be on Facebook. And
I remember having Bebo my sister signed me up for Bebo when I was 13.
Okay.
My parents were a little reluctant, but since my sisters were on it, they were a bit more open.
Okay.
But none of my friends weren't allowed to have them for months after me.
God, that's a social media platform I hadn't heard in ages.
Oh God, and Bebo was full of creepy people. I remember the amount
I was
of
never on Bebo because I wasn't
people
allowed.
that
And it
you're
was
lucky.
gone by the time. that-
People literally would go in and try to do if you had any anime pictures up on there, they would message you and see would you do like sex role play with them. Like you could have been like 13. Like oh my God, it was
Wow.
really different times. Yeah.
But
There-
can I just make a sound for you?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Can't remember it. No.
That's the dial-up thing, remember?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I do. God, it's been so long. I hear it. It's more like that really crunchy sound. It's like weird sound. But
Someone was talking about it on YouTube the other day that I saw. Like they were saying how at the time they absolutely detested that sound.
oh, it would literally bring pain to your ears.
But they said now they're nostalgic for it.
I guess, yeah. But I remember, so if I was on the internet around when I was younger, it was literally to go onto the Barbie website, the Diva Star website, the My Scene website, or like the Bratz website. Like that's what I was doing the internet for. Nothing else. And it didn't occur to me I could go on anything else with those literally child-friendly websites.
Oh, actually, I have a story to tell you. Like I think it was around 2004 or something. When was the SpongeBob movie?
Oh,
The first one.
I'm pretty sure we were teenagers when that came out.
Is 2004 fair?
I don't know. Like, maybe? I'm pretty sure I was about 14, 15 when that movie came out. Like, I'm 31. I'm 31 in like
I don't
a
think
week.
that's. Wait. Okay, first off, let's look up the. I actually have the iPad in my hand, so I can just look it up.
Yeah, like I'm 31 in a week, because you have to remember I am a year older than you.
You know what's sad?
What?
I'm a goofy goober.
Uber, yeah.
You're a goofy goober.
I still remember some countries banned it because they said it was promoting gayness.
I remember that too.
Because Patrick was in tights and some slutty boots.
I thought it was because they hold hands the whole time.
It was also Patrick being in the slutty boots.
Near the end, yeah.
Yeah. And the things they make it promoted I think like drag queening or some bull or trans stuff.
Who walked out of a SpongeBob movie saying, you know what, I want to be a drag queen now?
I'm sorry, do you not remember Patrick in those boots? He was fantastic. Those legs for days.
I remember they were obscenely long.
Obscenely long legs. And you were like, yes, Patrick, you and your obscenely long legs, work it. Did he turn anyone gay?
I was right, 2004.
Oh, okay, so what age were you in 2004?
I was born in 1993.
Yeah, and I was born in 92. So in 94 you turned 1, 95, 96, 97, 98.
I was 11. I'll just say it.
So I was 12.
Yeah.
Okay, I was 12.
Because I know for sure I wasn't in secondary school at that point.
Well, it depends. I was either 12 or maybe 13. Depends when your birthday is.
November 19th?
November. Okay. Then yeah, I would have been 12 and you'd have been 11 because our birthdays are both kind of the summer. Like mine's August, which is kind of more autumn, but it's also part of the summer holiday month, so it's a weird one.
Do you remember this actually? Why did you build a second Krusty Krab, right next to the original?
Oh no, I don't remember.
Do you remember what he says?
Money or something.
You're right. Money?
All his answers were always money.
Oh, that's... Although, actually, there is a weird episode. Do you remember the episode where SpongeBob and he think they've killed the health inspector?
Oh, that is such a weird episode where they literally thought they committed a murder and they literally try to cover up a murder. It's like, oh, cartoons got away with so much shit when we were...
But what I was basically saying is near the end of the episode, when Mr. Krabs thinks that there's a chance that the police might find the body, he hits the cash register open, takes out all the money, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot, it's open cash register night. The first 2 customers get all the cash in the cash register." And I remember thinking to myself as a kid, that doesn't really feel like a Mr. Krabs.
I feel like it was an exception because he was like money or jail. And if he went to jail, he couldn't make any more money.
Okay, so you think that still kind of fits in his character?
I think so, yeah. And also Pearl, like he wanted to make sure he took care of Pearl, his daughter.
Oh yeah, because of that one episode where she ran the Krusty Krab.
Yeah, like he did anything for Pearl.
It's losing money.
Like he even did things for Pearl if it lost him money. Pearl was kind of his exception.
Did they ever reveal a picture of her mom?
No. I always wondered, was Pearl adopted?
That's a good question.
I always assumed Pearl was adopted for some reason as a kid.
SpongeBob, and I'm just going to type in Pearl's mom.
Because he never mentioned ever being married. So I always just took him as like a single father who adopted a daughter. Does that make sense?
Pearl's mother, Mrs. Krabs, was another sperm whale who married Mr. Krabs long before help wanted. Pearl is the biological offspring of this whale and Mr. Krabs.
Oh, she is. Okay.
And as stated in SpongeBob SquarePants' trivia book, she simply takes after her mother rather than her father.
Oh, okay. So she is, but I don't know. I was just for some reason as a kid just assumed she was adopted. But it's kind of cool to say, even though yes, it makes no sense in the real world that a crab and a whale can have a child.
What is a whale?
It's just a sperm whale, no?
Yeah, but I mean, what is a whale?
Can a crab and a whale have a kid?
No, of course not, because remember, a whale is a mammal.
Yeah.
And a crab is a crustacean.
Yeah, so it makes
that makes absolutely no sense.
So that's why I always kind of assumed she was adopted. But I guess it's kind of more instead of saying it's an interracial child, I guess, which kind of makes sense.
I mean, in reality, it's interspecies.
Yes, but if we were to put logic and say they're basing it off, let's say,
real life and
people
in real life. It might be interracial, maybe.
It could be like an interracial child, yeah, exactly.
They never comment on it, though.
They don't because sea life aren't racist.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, when it's like that extreme, like...
They were only mean to Sandy when Sandy first came because she was into sea creature when she arrived. And they confused her, I think.
Wait, when you say mean to Sandy?
I think when Sandy came, a lot of
Oh, you're talking about that one episode.
The first episode where she was in. SpongeBob and Patrick went to be nice, but everyone else didn't trust her, remember? No one else would visit her, I think.
I don't remember anyone else being involved. I thought it was just those 3 characters in that first
There was, but I think people didn't want to visit her or something because they were afraid of her dome. She was different. I think I remember that.
To be fair, they kind of had a bit of a legitimate reason to be afraid of their dome. Do you know that's actually censored in Japan, that episode?
Is it? Oh, probably because, they full on nearly died.
Yeah, but it's just funny, because the amount of anime that gets censored over here, and then they censored an episode of SpongeBob.
I do remember there's all the censoring they did for Pokemon over here. Isn't there one where, do you remember, they got rid of the episode where he caught all the Tauros?
Yes, I remember.
So, and then in one episode, a couple episodes later, in the English version, he just had 100 Tauros, but we never knew where he got them.
Why did they stop that episode again?
I can't remember the reason. I think it might have been there was too many guns in that episode because it was to do with poaching.
Oh, and they just couldn't adjust it so that the guns weren't involved.
I think so. But I think there was another episode with guns again where they just removed the guns from their hands, so it looked like people were just holding nothing. It was really weird, but aiming their fingers at them, it was like super weird. I do know they cut out the episode that gave a lot of people seizures, but I'm pretty sure that got cut in Japan too, because remember what was the episode that the door was so bright it gave like kids seizures? Do you remember that one?
Hang on, I'm actually really surprised here, and I don't know if this is true or not. I was just reading about, so there's on the SpongeBob wiki, they actually have a section on Mrs. Krabs, an unseen character, as they mention.
Yeah, she would be an unseen character.
But the problem here, they have this paragraph here, and there's no citation. So I don't know if this is just someone completely BSing, or if this is actually true. But the thing that they can confirm is that it's unknown if she is deceased or divorced.
Pearl never talks about visiting her mother, so I always assumed.
Now, you see, the problem is this paragraph here has no citation. It says here, according to Pearl, her mother divorced Mr. Krabs because she considered that Mr. Krabs loves money more than she does, so he saves money without consulting her. Karen also confirms this information, monitoring the relationship between her and Mr. Krabs. From the beginning, she envied her. That sounds like BS to me.
Kind
Why would Karen... Would Karen have even been a thing at that point? Do you remember who Karen was?
No, who was Karen again?
She was Plankton's wife.
She is Plankton's wife, yes, thank you.
The computer.
Yeah, forgot her name was Karen.
Oh, do you remember Plankton's name?
No, what is
Because she has a big go at him about it. It's Sheldon.
it? Is Sheldon, yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a complete BS thing that they're talking about here.
Probably, because you have to remember, like, anyone could edit a wiki. Sure, I remember years ago, I told you years ago, my friends on April Fools just went around editing, like, the Tokyo Movie and Bleach wiki and the Kingdom Hearts wiki. And I remember, we, like, went on to Minnie Mouse and Kingdom Hearts and said she was into bondage. We were weird, we were, like, 14. And then she was, like, into bondage and shit, and, like, Mickey was her simp. And, we also linked, Ichigo Tokyo Mew to Bleach and said that the two Ichigos from Tokyo Mew, Ichigo from Tokyo Mew and Ichigo from Bleach were like cousins. And we did all this weird shit to all these wikis, and for weeks some of them stayed up there, and if some of our quotes stayed up there, and we put up some fake quotes for characters like
Are you into bondage?
No, it's like for Kyrie and stuff. I can't remember what they were. We did some really quotes that we were just laughing about. And they were up there for weeks for some of them. And I remember the ones they found first, they didn't take away straight away. They made a thread to debate whether to remove our fake information.
Well, they have to, you see.
And we were like, and we actually commented on it. We were like, lads, it was an April Fool's joke. Just fucking remove it.
Yeah, but they do call that vandalism, I believe. Internet vandalism, I think, is the term.
Oh, but it's funny. Like, no one does anything about it because it was funny, like, but some of them were up there. I think one of the quotes we said from Sora was something about his bitches or something, and I don't know.
What the
yeah, so we were just like, yeah.
Okay. Can I just bring this up? Okay, folks, I just want to talk about SpongeBob for a moment.
Why are we talking about SpongeBob again? I can't remember.
Well, here's the thing. Well, we were talking about SpongeBob because of Pearl's mother.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
So, I adore the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob.
Everyone does. SpongeBob's shit now.
Season 4 was a mixed bag, I would say. Like, there were some decent bits in season 4, but there were also some real, like, bits, you know? And then from that point onwards, it sucked. I haven't seen the new movies.
Either.
I've seen the first movie, and that's the only one I've seen.
I think that's the only one I've seen too. I didn't even know there was more movies in that first movie.
Yeah, you don't remember all the ads for Sponge Out of Water? Wow. Okay. The point anyway is that there are some weird bits later on, and apparently, I just looked this up to do with Pearl's mother. There's an episode from season 9 of SpongeBob called Married to Money. And apparently in Married to Money, Mr. Krabs marries money.
That isn't surprising.
And apparently he says, Mr. Krabs tells Pearl that he may have found her a new mom. Apparently this greatly upsets Pearl, who responds no way, and begins to describe how terrible a stepmother would be.
Yeah, because I kind of get that, I guess. It's every child's nightmare was because of like movies like Cinderella and stuff like that. People
Oh my
are
God.
terrified.
I'm gonna need to check this other thing. First off, this thing that surprises me. I wonder, can you get it, considering it's a very specific thing from the original 3 seasons. Apparently, in this episode, Married to Money, they have sea bears.
I think I know that episode. It's like a sea bear fish thing. I think I remember it.
Yeah, but do you remember it's the camping episode?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of insane to me. Like, who do they think they're servicing with that?
I don't know.
Like, they know that adults aren't watching SpongeBob anymore because the quality just went to absolute crap.
Yeah.
And so why bring something back from... God, which season was the camping episode? I feel like it was one of the first 2 seasons, although I could be wrong. Could be 3rd
I don't know.
season.
I just know one of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob is when SpongeBob thinks he fed Squidward an exploding pie.
Oh, that's a fantastic episode!
And they like do all this fun stuff together because they think Squidward's gonna die.
What was the one
F
where...
is for things for it's like for like some of the fun song isn't
Oh,
there?
that's a different
Oh,
episode.
which one was that in? I thought that was an exploding pie.
No, that's the episode where Plankton feels lonely and like he becomes friends with SpongeBob.
I thought he was tricking SpongeBob.
He kind of was. It's hard to tell because in the end he does end up tricking
Yeah.
him, but he was also at home in actual like SpongeBob pants, which he wasn't. That was not in any shape or form tricking SpongeBob there because SpongeBob wasn't around.
True. I do know. Also, another episode I like is when Squidward leaves Bikini Bottom and goes to that area.
Squidville.
Yes, the Squidville, and he's like really happy, and then he realizes it's really, really boring without SpongeBob.
Now, can I just look up something here?
And Krusty
Because
Krab
this is
pizza.
something that's kind
Krusty
of crazy.
Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. Sorry.
Krusty Krab pizza, pizza.
And the chocolate bar incident.
Oh, that's
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah, SpongeBob used to be so good.
Oh, do you remember the old lady who's like waiting for her mom to die?
Yeah.
But
Because they're both like super old, yeah.
But can I just bring this up because this surprises me. This is also related to Mrs. Krabs, very loosely, because apparently there's an episode, I haven't looked at what season it's from, called Goons on the Moon, where Sandy says to SpongeBob, Pearl, and Squidina that their mamas won't save them now. Squidina?
Oh, Squidina.
Who the hell is Squidina?
Is she a newer character? Like newer episodes that no one knows about because no one.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
Oh, I say she's a newer character. I don't recognize her at all. She looks like she's a new character, Owen.
She's introduced as one of Pearl's friends. Which episode introduced this? Season 11?
Is there 11 seasons of SpongeBob really?
Season 11?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm back up here.
You're too early.
Yeah, I know. Sugar. Again.
Season 11. Sorry. Oh, actually, if you combine all of the SpongeBob movies, they're as long as the Lord of the Rings movies together.
Oh my god. Like all three or just of like with all like the theatrical cuts versions?
Oh no, wait, sorry. Hang on. I think I did the math wrong. No, actually, they're still shorter than the Lord of the Rings
Because
movies.
it's 4
They're
hours.
only a bit longer than one of the extended
Okay,
editions.
because I do know it's 4 hours. It's 8 hours for the first two.
Basically, it would take you 4.5 hours to watch all the SpongeBob movies.
Oh, so basically a movie, one extended movie, and half an hour of the next.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, my math went wrong. I'm starting to go crazy here. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, because I was like, that's long because like especially with like the two of the extended cuts being literally 8 hours.
So season 12 started last year.
Okay, yeah, so that's a brand new character. I haven't watched SpongeBob in years. Now, put on old SpongeBob episodes for me, and hell yeah. Oh, the Olympics episode as well.
Can I just ask?
Remember the Olympics episode where SpongeBob and Patrick were competing, where SpongeBob was doing it for Krusty Krab, and Patrick was doing it for Chum Bucket because Plankton and
Yeah, that was another good episode.
yeah, they were all really good when I think about it.
I'm trying to remember were there any episodes I didn't care for in the first 3 seasons. There must have been at least one.
Probably, I don't think you would have said any of them were like really bad. You just said they weren't your favorite.
Maybe. So here's a big problem I have with her, by the way.
Squidina?
Yeah. She's a squid, right?
I say so.
And Squidward's a squid, right?
Yes.
But character design wise, they look completely different.
I say they're different types of squid because there is different types of squids. She is whatever squid has that pointy thing at the top, which is another.
Have you ever seen a squid though in the first 2 seasons of SpongeBob besides Squidward and his people?
No, but my guess is she's a different version of a squid. Like probably like there's different versions of fish. There has to be different versions of squid.
By the way, have you ever heard that there was a spin-off
For Patrick.
for Patrick? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I just guessed Patrick.
Yeah. There's apparently 2 seasons of it.
I never. Oh, sugar. Heard of this thing. What is it?
The Patrick Star Show.
When did that come out?
Came out in 2021.
Oh god, yeah. I was not watching SpongeBob back then.
But like, one thing that's kind of weird. So apparently, it's structured like a late night show.
Oh,
So Patrick hosts his own talk show.
it's kind of like when they did. Do you remember Phineas and Ferb on Disney Channel?
I remember hearing about it. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, you should watch Phineas and Ferb.
I know there's like a famous line, isn't there, to do with if something happened. If I had a nickel for every time something happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot of money, but it's like weird that it happened twice.
I think that is from Phineas and Ferb. It's on like if you ever get Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus, and I would sometimes rewatch it. It is so good.
Oh, speaking of Disney Plus, I don't know when, but like in the next month or 2, I might need to borrow it so that we can watch the last season of Clone Wars.
Of course you can. Don't worry.
Mm.
You could either use my profile or the guest profile.
So here's another weird thing. So this character, Squidina, she apparently, at least in this Patrick Star Show thing, is Patrick's adopted sister.
His parents had another child after Patrick.
But it.
Keep thinking too soon.
What's weird to me is she his adopted sister in the main show in SpongeBob.
I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
I do. Yeah. So basically, what I was saying about Phineas and Ferb was they actually did have a spin-off in Phineas and Ferb, where I think they did do a talk. Phineas and Ferb were also talk show hosts, but they like interviewed actual celebrities, like real life celebrities. So it was really funny. So it was like animated Phineas and Ferb and the real life celebrities sitting on like an animated couch, which obviously was CGI. Like obviously like CGI'd in or something.
Mm.
And yeah, so obviously everything must have been scripted because they were obviously talking to animated characters. But I think we only got a season or something. But like, and all the stage crew with the like Phineas and Ferb animated friends, it was like really kind of funny. I can't remember what the name of it was.
That's weird.
It was so weird. It's literally like a fever dream. I'm pretty sure they even interviewed Taylor Swift.
But I just want to say something about SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Along with The Simpsons, need to be taken around to the back of the barn.
Oh yeah.
Like
I've watched The Simpsons in years too.
Like
I've been meaning to because it's all on Disney Plus. But like I said, I'm up to date with
Oh,
Family.
those-
I'm actually up to date with Family.
those first 8 seasons of The Simpsons are fantastic. Well, the first season's actually a bit of a rough one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first season?
A couple of episodes here and there. I think I watched the first maybe 2 couple of years ago when Disney Plus first came out, and they got the rights to like.
Oh, actually, but wait. One thing that might be a problem for you, actually, if you need to, there's an episode of The Simpsons that isn't on Disney Plus, and it's in season 3. I have the season 3 DVD though, so it is on there. So you could.
Why isn't it on Disney Plus?
So basically, it's the Michael Jackson episode.
Oh, I've seen that though.
Oh, okay. But they got rid of it because apparently it's some documentary to Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Michael Jackson actually a secret pedophile.
But the thing is, the amount of people that have been on The Simpsons. And Michael Jackson is the one that they have a problem with? They haven't even confirmed that, right?
It's not confirmed. Which is why I'm kind of anti that theory, because I think what's the point of trying to... He's not here to defend himself or say his side of the story. It's literally they attack him once he's dead, and I think he could have been. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know.
If there was some definitive proof.
Because I do know some of the kids that came out that said it as like for that. Some of them came out saying they lied that their parents made them lie for money.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. Now we know that some of them lied. We don't know if any of them were being truthful. That's the problem with this. And some of them could have been truthful. Who knows? But I know some of them have said that actually he was just a child because of his horrible upbringing with his dad. The way his dad, remember, used him for money, took away their childhood. Remember all that kind of stuff?
I don't know that much about Michael Jackson myself.
Like, you know where Michael Jackson first started becoming singing though was with his brothers, the Jackson 5.
When you say that, I'm vaguely familiar.
So
I need to explain this to folks because they might be like, "What? You don't know the history of Michael Jackson?"
You're not into music.
I'm really not into music.
Yeah.
Like, but is it really not into music? I don't hate music.
You just don't really like follow artists and stuff.
Not generally, no. Like, I'll come across a song on occasion, but I'll like, oh, that's nice. I'll put it on in the background sometimes when I'm doing work or something.
Like, as you know, like I'm a massive Taylor Swift fan.
But like, I don't follow. Like I'm really not knowledgeable about music. That's probably one of my weakest areas.
And if you know anything about Taylor Swift, it's because of me.
Yeah, I don't know really anything about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I know at some point she became famous, and there was a video that someone was doing. It was like the most disliked videos on YouTube. There was one Taylor Swift video in that, and it was her in a bathtub of money or something.
Yeah, that was, I'm pretty sure that was Look What You Made Me Do.
Okay, I can't confirm.
And I can be honest right now, I know people hated Look What You Made Me Do when it came out, but it's a banger. I'm sorry.
That's fair enough. I can't remember the ratio at all.
Or was it blank space? Oh,
because actually one thing...
I'm pretty sure it was...
So the guy was going through like the Wikipedia list of the most disliked videos. And one problem he had with some of them was that, like, because some videos were super popular, it meant that they had loads and loads of dislikes, even though their likes way outnumbered the dislikes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the likes on that way outnumbered the dislikes.
I actually can't remember that one. I was just saying some of them were, and he was like, you know, to him it was like, sure, this is one of the most disliked videos on YouTube, but if it's like 1/8 of the votes are dislikes.
See, I can guarantee you some of those dislikes was just because it was around the time she was on people were on the dislike Taylor Swift train, and they just wanted to dislike her because she was getting really famous.
Here's something that will probably blow everyone's mind. I, for the longest time, thought Lady Gaga was like, in her someone who was in her 60s or something.
Oh, dude!
Like I thought she was a really an older lady, and it wasn't until American Horror Story Hotel that I was like, oh, she's not actually that old at all.
Really? You thought Lady Gaga was old?
I don't know why. It was the vibe I was getting from some people. Like. I didn't know. I just assumed she was like an older lady.
No, she's just weird and quirky.
Yes, well, the meat dress was...
Yeah, and also she did a few other like weird quirky things.
Yeah.
She's also a gay icon. Like all the gays love her.
Is there a reason for that? Like a specific reason? No.
Because she writes a lot about self-love, no matter your differences.
Okay.
And she's very much a supporter of LGBT rights.
Well, yeah, that's what I was I thought you were going to
as well. No, she is also a lot of female celebrities and male celebrities would be. But Lady Gaga has always been a very big...
Well, I haven't been taking a survey of all the female celebrities, so I can't say for sure, like, the percentage, but I do know that, you know, they're very visible.
Okay, I'm back up here. Okay.
No, you keep hitting it too soon.
You might have to for me if I can't do it, because I think I've been doing this for an hour.
I think you can do this, but I think...
Unless you want an episode where it's just me doing this, you might.
As I said, there may be like a super episode of this.
You might have to do this one.
But what?
I know I can if I eventually, because I'm getting so close.
Yeah, but you know your problem up there, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the double jump too soon because I'm afraid I'm falling.
But then you do fall. What you need to do is...
Okay, if I hit that, I know it's just to die, because if I hit that,
You see, you did your double jump too early there.
That's fine, because I knew I was going to hit that bottom one.
I think part of your problem is you kind of like mashing the X button.
Maybe.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes I'm able to do that, and I'm very impressed with myself.
So yeah, I just have, and then actually, it's not just music. Like when I was in college, they were showing me, there were like these quizzes, and my classmates, they were like, it was like, do you recognize this person? And I was looking at someone, and apparently the person I was looking at was, is it Steve Austin, who's the really famous wrestler?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about wrestling. My boyfriend would, because he's obsessed with wrestling, and I the only wrestlers I know are John Cena, and I know The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson used to be a wrestler, and other than that, he showed me some, told me their names, and I don't remember any of them.
So whoever, like the really famous wrestler is, like one of the most famous wrestlers of all of WWE, like I was looking at a picture of them, and I was like, I have no idea who this is, and the other people were like, what?
Yeah, I wouldn't really know either, because not everyone's into wrestling, and I think wrestling is a bit... I kind of get, like, singers and actors. I think it's more common to be surprised that someone doesn't know a famous singer or actor.
I think people would be shocked if they thought that I thought Lady Gaga was like an older lady for a long time.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised with that too, Owen. No offense.
I don't know how I got that misconception. Like, it just...
My thumbs are actually really hurting me now from this.
What are we gonna do here?
I don't know. I feel like you better do it for me.
I feel like this section, if it almost necessitates you doing it, but I can take a crack at it and just see like if you can learn anything by watching me do it.
That was a nice jump. Let's see. Ah!
Okay, give me the controller for a moment.
And that was so beautiful up to that point.
Oh shoot!
It's fine.
I balls that bit up.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Okay, I'm as incompetent as you.
Oh,
Then again,
actually no. And this is a good noise for me to like massage my thumbs because they are quite sore. What time is it?
see,
You got up there.
should I kill myself for?
I don't know. Should we just? I don't know. I don't know if I can do it or not.
Like, do you want to be the one to do this, or do you
I've been
want...
doing it for so long. I think I'd rather you saved.
Okay, that's a little bit of a shame, but
Yeah, and I just want to see. Yay!
you did something at least. Did you resave there?
Just there.
What time is it now? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's our thing. I was doing that for over an hour.
So, folks,
Caitlin was terrible this episode.
we made a little bit of progress. I mean, to be
Ow.
fair, I think this.
My thumbs are killing me.
I think this bit is a bit of a step up in terms of difficulty. But
Maybe.
you know what? That's fine. Like even I died once or something.
I think you should get a death count going on this episode.
Maybe this episode, but I mean, you know, there's an overall death count, right?
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, there is.
If you hit the menu, actually, how many times have you died? 425.
I would love to know how much was from that section alone.
That would be a good question.
So, yeah.
But here's the thing. There was a Celeste chapter where I died 3,000 times.
Oh my god.
So, don't have any shame in that.
I could be at 3,000 at the end of this, lads.
Maybe. But anyway, that'll do for today, folks. At least we got the double jump, right?
We did get double jump. My thumbs are killing me.
And until then, this has been... Well, first off, I guess I should just say, everyone, like, you know, take a bit of, you know, like, Kathlynn, she's still learning all this.
Oh, I'm still learning. Hopefully people will be too mean about it.
She's gotten quite a bit better. Like, you saw she almost got to the end of that multiple times.
I know.
I think it was actually... You know what I think it was? I think it was mostly a confidence issue. Because you were
Maybe.
scared, you said, of falling down.
Down and then being, yeah, that was it.
So I think if you were more confident at it, you would jump and then wait and then jump again and you get past. So I honestly think that's an aspect of it. But anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed all of this, and you know, this has been Owen, also known as Immortality.
And Caitlin.
And bye-bye!